Draco was here. I wish I had a lint roller on me. I should get one of those. Every once in a while, I get obsessed with a brand new board game. Actually, there's one right here that I'll tell you about shortly, but another one is Stars of Ikarios, this brand new space epic Gloomhaven-esque game that I am desperately wanting to get my hands on. But I know I don't have the time nor money to really make it worthwhile. And then I take a glance at my shelf and I see a dozen unplayed board games on my shelf of opportunity or my shelf of shame, and really, I should probably get through some of them first. So what better way to amp myself up than to talk to you about the 11 that I'm most excited about tabling. This is Vast, Mysterious Manor by Leader Games. Root is my #1 favorite game of all time. I love it to death. I play it a ton. I have over 175 plays in the past year and a half. 170 of those have came on the app. And that's where Vast comes into play, in that this is a similar game as far as weight and asymmetry and difficulty to table. It's one that I have yet to see the light at the end of the tunnel of when this is going to be played. I am incredibly excited for it. I'm desperate to get my hands on it. It is beautiful Kyle Farron art. I love spooky themes. Like, this is amazing. And I've heard it's great, but it's wildly asymmetric. It's kinda heavy. And it's kinda long, and it's really hard to play these big games, and I feel so bad because I want to talk to you about them, I want to play them, but I don't have the ability to get that tabled right now. But we're just talking about excitement right now. I just wanted to be happy. I wanted to share with you the games on my shelf that I'm incredibly thankful I have that. And that way I can forget about Stars of Ikarios for now. At least for a moment, a fleeting moment. This one I should be able to play, especially because I believe it plays well digitally. And I'd love to play it with some of my content creator friends or friends across the globe. And this is Alice is Missing. This is the silent RPG. It's a game about a missing girl, Alice. You are a high school teenager and you're trying to work together with your friends to find her. The weird thing is, I said silent RPG, you do all of this over text, like create group messages, change each other's names to actually get you into the theme of it. And you have, I believe, 90 minutes to solve Alice is Missing. And I think every 10 minutes you're flipping over what I would refer to as kind of like a prompt card. I saw the idea of this and I bought it that day. I was incredibly stoked to finally give this a shot. It just looks so unique, like one of those experiences that I want to have. I love RPGs, but I've never played something like that. And I think the thing that makes me most excited about it, I love RPGs. I'm the bard in one of them. I'm the face of the party. I'm talkative. You're here on my own YouTube channel. I don't mind being loud and talkative. But sometimes that can be a negative when you're talking over people who are more what is the word I'm looking for? Who are more calm. I cannot think of the right word. You'll tell me in the comments. You know what I'm trying to say, probably. Restrained? Or more restrained? I figured it out. I think that maybe this silent aspect of texting might lend people who aren't so outgoing and aren't so quick on the speak. Maybe for people like that who are a little bit more reserved, that might have been the word I was looking for. The texting may be perfect for them. And for that only, and that alone, I had to buy this. And I want to play it so bad. So if someone wants to lend me their person for 90 minutes, I would love to play Alice is Missing. Oh, here comes a big boy. It's a chonker. It's Burn Cycle. This is Chip Theory Games' newest game, and I don't even know where to begin, and that's kind of why it's still on my shelf of shame. I think I want Doolin to play this solo first. Doolin loves solo. Doolin also enjoys learning games, so if I can just get him to play it solo so we have that perspective coming into review, and then teach it to me, that's a dream right there. This is a game where you are basically bots and you are infiltrating. It's kind of like, I don't know if it's a Tom Clancy kind of game, but you're basically hiding in the shadows and you're trying to infiltrate these bases, trying to complete your mission and do that in a very hidden way. That's not to say you have to stay hidden. It's not, oh, you were found, game over, but like, that's the most effective way to be, and I think that's what this game is going for. That said, there's a lot to it. It's big, it's beautiful, it's produced like most other Chip Theory games are. Big and beautiful. But like I said, I think when Doolin gets back from his week-long escapade, I'm gonna make him take it home with him. And I think he will play it solo. The man just loves solo games, and me, I can't, y'all. I don't know what it is about me. Moving on to one that is even bigger than Burn Cycle, we have Riot Games Mechs vs. Minions. This is a game based off the League of Legends video game. You are basically controlling several of the characters in a cooperative experience, and I think it is programming based. It's also a campaign based. It's also one of the most beautiful productions I've ever seen, and honestly unfair to any actual board game publisher, because Riot, there's no way they made money on this thing. It's absolutely stunning. The production is immense, and I want to play it. That said, it is a cooperative game, meaning I need more than just myself. It is also a campaign game, and I have several of those. Another one that I didn't even pull off my shelf, which I should have, it should have been my number 12, was Clank Legacy. That's another one that I'm so incredibly excited to play. But these games, man, these games are just hard to table. And I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm gonna make it happen eventually. Speaking of hard to table, I still have several left, but I wanna go and take a little segue into essentially the entire reason that I created this video. It's because I wanted to talk to you about a game that I am so incredibly excited about. It's also a game type that I honestly thought I would probably never play again. And I'll explain what I mean, but before I dive too deep into that, let me just tell you about the game that I am most excited about. And by the time you're watching this video, I should have played it once yesterday. Blood on the Clock Tower. This game has got its hooks in me. I have watched countless YouTube videos. I've taken the quizzes because I anticipate I will be the storyteller. I have read about it. I've read the rulebooks. I don't like reading rulebooks. I read these rulebooks the day I got the game, at least the first 2 that I need to read. I don't know that I've ever been so excited and hype for a board game. And like I mentioned, I don't think I ever expected to play this genre of game again. This is a social deduction game, and a massive one at that. This isn't your old One Night Ultimate Werewolf or your Mafia. I love social deduction games. I used to play One Night Ultimate Werewolf all the time. Then friends moved away. We got kids. Pandemic hit. Really, it was the kids, I think, that started it all. But I have yet to play a social deduction game since One Night Ultimate Werewolf maybe 5 years ago, 4 years ago. I thought that genre, for me, was just a thing of the past. I didn't think it would ever come back. And then I found this, and I broke like my no buying ban. I sold Unmatched Bruce Lee and basically converted it into Blood on the Clock Tower. And this is a game that you're looking at my shelf of opportunity, my shelf of shame, and you're thinking, Max, you can't play Alice is Missing. What makes you think you're gonna be able to play Blood on the Clock Tower? And I would normally agree with you. But this is a rare instance where excitement has actually made something. There's a much better way to say that, but my words are escaping me. But I'm so excited for this game. I have organized a digital play tomorrow on Thursday, so you'll be seeing this on Friday. And I've organized a physical play the following Saturday. So 2 plays in under a week and a half, where I need 8 to 12 people to actually play this. That's not something I've attempted to organize in a long time, but this game just brought that out of me. I was like, I'm going to buy this game, but if I'm going to buy this game, I have to actually try to get it played. I can't just let it sit there. And then it happened. And I don't think I've ever been so motivated by a board game in my entire life. It's so weird, I know. And I'm afraid now that these hopes and dreams of what Blood on the Clock Tower will be won't be. And I'm gonna be very upset and very disheartened if that's the case. That said, I don't think that's gonna be the case. I have watched enough, read enough, and have enough interested people that I think this is gonna be a major hit. And I cannot wait to play it and report back to you on what I expect to be one of my favorite board games of the year. Oh, knock on wood, baby. That sounds like something I shouldn't say. I'm setting myself up for failure. But this is literally the reason that I created this video. I was like, I want to talk about Blood on the Clocktower, but people may not be interested in just Blood on the Clocktower. So let me talk about other board games at the same time. I'm not going to go too in depth to this because there will be more videos in the future once I actually have some plays in it. But this is a social deduction game that I hope fixes many of the issues that I have with social deduction games. And it also allows for a DM, a storyteller. And I plan to be that most times. I don't want to be that all the time, but as someone who's introducing the game to people, that's probably going to be my role for a while. And it seems really unique and interesting, and I've always wanted to DM, but I'm too scared and I'm not creative enough to do that. So this might just be like the perfect segue, just a little bit different, but still similar. So that's Blood on the Clocktower, a game that I just cannot freaking wait to play, and it's way bigger and way heavier than I expected. This one might be a little bit of a cheat. Maybe one of the most weird things I've ever purchased. I don't really know why I purchased it, but I'm kind of glad I did. I don't know when I'll play it, but that is Too Many Bones, The Automation of Shale. A pop-up book, a flip book. And it's not really a game, but there is content in here, at least I think. I've yet to be spoiled, I've yet to read through it, I've really yet to even open it up, other than like, ooh, it is a pop-up book, close. I haven't investigated it at all, I haven't read it at all. I think this is going to be a very cool and unique experience to put together with Too Many Bones. One that I have no idea if it'll be worth the cost of admission. I have no idea if it's like something that's a one-off or something that's going to be long-lasting, and I don't know. I don't know much about this at all, but I know chip theory games. I know this is friggin' weird, and I am looking forward to finally putting it on the table with Too Many Bones and seeing what it's about. I don't have the slightest idea, but I'm looking forward to it. This isn't the book, by the way. The book's in here, but here's the book. It looks the same. I'm not gonna like open it. I mean, I could open. Whew, it's a pop-up book. I told you. Scandal O. It is still in its shrink. I just got my pledge just the other day from Megacorp, and this is a game that I have reviewed on the channel before. I played the prototype several times, but this is the production copy. This is Awkward Guests with color. And really, I'm incredibly excited to try it out and see how different it is. If it's the same exact game, that's great for people that don't have awkward guests or who want color in their lives. I'll have to decide at that point which one to keep. I want to see if it stands on its own, or if it's really just a brother to Awkward Guests and you pick which one you think looks prettier or you like the theme of better. I want to see what that's about. So this is Scandal O. Again, the Awkward Guests sequel, if I had to call it that. This one is a half cheat in that I have played this game before, but not my copy. I just got this used only the other day, and I'm only playing it once, and it was like 5.5 years ago. So it's been a while. I hope that timing adds up. I certainly did not have a kid when I last played this, so it's at least 4.5 years ago. This is, oh my goodness, Lords of Hellas. This is Awakened Realms area control game, I would say. It shares a lot of similarities to, you know, what the prototypical area controls, your Kimets, your Blood Rages, and I'm not saying it's the same, no, not at all, but it does share some similarities. This one, however, is it's an incredible theme. I love like the futuristic Greek theme. That's so cool. Beautiful miniatures. But the biggest thing to me of why Lords of Hellas sounds so cool is that there's the various ways of winning. So I believe you can win by killing monsters, I believe you can win by building temples, and I believe you can win by controlling areas. And you don't need to do all three, you just need to do one. So I love that it kind of gives you multiple paths to victory, and it leaves that up to you and how you handle that. I think that Kenny and Doolin and I are gonna play this before too awfully long. Really excited to get a second opinion on it since, again, it's been forever since I last tabled it. But this is Lords of Hellas, a game that I am sorry about that. That I'm really looking forward to trying out. Super excited about. Gorgeous, love it. Lords of Ragnarok is coming sometime soon, probably next year. That's like the Norse version of this, and I'm into that. I would love that too. But first and foremost, we're gonna try out Lords of Hellas, see how we get along. Maybe the single biggest disappointment for me on this list, and I mean that in like, I'm so disappointed that I haven't played it yet, is, thank you Draco, Root the Marauder expansion. I think this counts because this is a big deal. I love Root. I talked about it earlier in the video. I haven't played my physical copy in ever, that one at least. And it's been a long time since I've really sat down and played it. Most of my plays come on the app, and they are unfortunately two expansions behind now that Marauder and Underworld are out. Marauder is an expansion that adds in 2 new factions and also adds in the hirelings, which I am most looking forward to them because they're supposed to make the 2 and 3 player game just way better. Like in the base game, I almost think you have to have 4. You can get by with 3, but it's not as good. As you add in more expansions, you can do more player counts, more various player counts, but I almost think 2 is never an option. But now that the hirelings are here, I'm really looking forward to playing this with Doolin and seeing how we get on with it, because it is our #1 favorite game of all time combined. The Tablenauts #1, Doolin and me, both of us separately and together, conjoined as one. Root is our favorite game of all time, at least as of right this moment. So now that we can play it physically together, will it be even better, be even more unbeatable, or what's it gonna do? I really don't know, but both these factions sound so cool. The hirelings sound incredible. This is just one that I am very much looking forward to tabling, and I hope it meets its expectations. Down to the final 2. I've actually talked about this one a little bit in a brief video, but this is Level 99 Games Argent the Consortium. I've heard this described to me as a very mean worker placement game, which I'm into that. High level of interactivity, I'm into that. I love that. I think it's gonna be great. And I've also heard the theme described as pretend Dumbledore died and you're now vying for votes to become the new headmaster of Hogwarts. And like, I'm into that. It does seem pretty complex. It seems like there's a lot of variability, that you can play it with like lesser powers and higher powers that make the game more wild and crazy and difficult to comprehend. But if I had to pick like a game that really just came out of left field, from I have zero interest in this to holy cow, I want to play that so bad, it's got to be Argent the Consortium. I mean, it's not an aesthetically like ugly game, but it's certainly not like, wow, that's beautiful. Like, I do enjoy the art, but it's not top of the line. That said, I'm really into this. Euros were not usually my thing, and then I've been more and more getting into them. And Euros with a high level interaction, I love even more. So I'm really hopeful that I'm gonna be able to table this soon and that it's gonna be a hit. And I have an expansion to try out too. Argent the Consortium, again, came out of left field, took me by surprise, and I really can't wait to get it to the table. Last but not least, we have Steamforged Games God Tier. This is a game that I'm really hopeful will bridge together 2 loves: board games and miniature wargaming. You see, I have fallen head first into Kill Team, Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team. I love the hobby aspect. I love playing it. Me and Kenny have been playing it a ton, well, when we're able. It's a pretty long game. We're still pretty noobish. We're pretty bad at it. But I really like miniature tabletop war games. And I'm hopeful that this will bridge that gap for me of something that's not as complex and hard to get into as Kill Team, but something that is not board gamey, but still miniature war gamey. And this is God Tier, and I'm really excited about it. I have several of the expansions. I've actually started painting one of them already. Kenny's painted his faction. We're ready to duke it out and go head to head. And I think if this turns out to be great, this might be a staple for me because I love Kill Team, but it is still expensive and hard to table. And I think this will cut down on both costs and complexity so we can actually play it more often. That is the 10, 11, 12 games that I am most excited to finally play off my shelf of shame. If you're looking at games that are brand new and you're like, I have to have that, take a breath, look back at your shelf, and see what you were once excited about, got to the shelf, and then was forgotten about. Because these 12 for me are all games that I would love to play this very night if I were able. I'm really looking forward to diving into them, and you'll probably see additional content on all 12 of these once I'm able to get them played. Thank you for watching, and let me know down in the comments what games you have on your shelf of shame or opportunity that you are aching to get to the table. We'll see you next time.